It's true.
We were getting play by.
All right.
Oh, that's.
Handle planner is to play by.
That's good. Yeah, it was a good game.
It was 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got a little close. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
We're good. Oh,
You make a good burger. It's not that. I make it with fly. That's the secret ingredient. And they're never, no two are ever the same. They're just going to take each week all. I talked to burger. Oh, yeah, I do them all. Last.
We're gonna call the meeting to order. We'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we're gonna follow up with a moment of silence for those who lost their lives. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Take please. Since we have members in person and online tonight, we will start out with a roll call.
All right. So again, this is to make sure we can hear everyone online and everyone online can hear us. So Wendy.
Present.
Kristen.
Here.
David G.
Here.
Annie had told us she would be absent tonight. Tyler. Is he online? Not yet. Okay. Christine.
Here.
Leslie.
Here.
Patricia.
Here.
Rebecca, I believe is online.
Here.
Sean.
Here.
Brian.
Here.
Kelty.
Here.
And David Twitch. All right, so we'll do all votes. We'll be roll call votes. Okay.
All right. First up, we have the student representatives. We have Audrey and Lucy with us tonight. You want to step up?
Kids are switching UAs soon, and starting tomorrow, we have Make a Difference Week. We normally raise around $10,000 and feed 17 to 20 families. On Sebago team, they are writing about a famous person dinner and learning how to write dialogue. They are creating birdhouses, crates, and paintings, and learning about fractions. Music, kids are learning how to use the guitar and piano, and they will be doing a concert. Chorus, chamber band, and jazz band are doing a concert on December 14th, and chamber choir will be doing caroling on December 1st. In German, we learned classroom vocab and numbers through 1 through 100. We are learning culture in German with Moin instead of Guten Morgen. In Moose, we are learning pirates and explorers, buoyancy, and marine life. We like to thank Mr. Turnell and Mr. Radcliffe for helping our team out. In wellness, September, we had the flu clinic. October, we have teeth protectors. In November, we're having vision and hearing. They see students for injury, illness, medication, and emotional check-ins. Kids will get mentors soon if they need. They are offering grief counseling for people who need it. Civil Rights is having the Day of Welcome November 3rd, where they will unveil the mural they made.
The Royal team has been busy with their theme focused on food. In Science of Food, they made elephant toothpaste. The previous week, they made ice cream. They tried these experiments to highlight physical and chemical changes. In Food Around the World, they have been looking at the geography of Thanksgiving meals. In Farm to Table, Royal focused on what sustainable agriculture looks like. All of these cool investigations are in addition to their grade level math, writing, flash fiction, and reading at least 120 pages in their free choice books each week. Moxie team has been immersed in designing a zoo with enclosures using scale and will include an endangered species research project. which also requires a scale drawing of the endangered species. They have learned about plant and animal cells and relationships in biomes around the world. They have also learned about geographic features in Maine. Reading and writing have a topic of survival with a strong focus on informational reading and writing. Middle school Spanish classes are currently participating in an international music competition, Locotuber, where students vote for their favorite Latin song to determine a winner. The competition features 4 popular genres of Latin music: reggaeton, rock, cumbia, and bachata. Students are learning the historical and pop culture context of the music, as well as how to share their thoughts about each song in Spanish. During the last couple of weeks, the art students created a black and white notion paper designs that demonstrated balance, symmetry, contrast, and unity. This week, students are finishing up the art quarter with a sunset silhouette landscape that demonstrates contour drawing techniques and the watercolor wash technique. The students' clay mugs and still life drawings were on display this month, and the students are especially excited to bring their mugs home. In the health classes, they're currently doing a unit on substance prevention and will be meeting with a guest speaker on the topic. They will be starting a new unit in health next week.
All right, thank you. Thank you both. Great reports. Great to hear what's going on at the middle school. Does anyone have any questions? Letting them off easy tonight. All right, well, again, thank you both. All right, next up is presentation impact 2032. Caitlin Pusher, Community Engagement Manager, United Way of Kennebec Valley. Welcome.
Thank you. I have some materials.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me tonight. As you said, my name is Caitlin Pushard, and I'm the Director of Community Impact at the United Way of Kennebec Valley. And I'm here tonight to talk to you about Impact 2032. So Impact is a county-wide effort that the United Way of Kennebec Valley is facilitating, but it's really meant to be driven by the movement meant to be driven by the entire community. And it's an effort where we've established shared visions under health, education, and financial stability. And the hope is really to bring organizations together from across the different sectors. So we're really trying to involve businesses, nonprofits, school systems, municipalities, and really get everyone to the table and their voices heard. So it started about over 2 years ago now, the process. Just to give you a little bit of background, we had some leaders in the community come to the United Way and talk about the fact that while they know that there's good happening in the community, they're not always seeing as much progress as they'd like to, and everyone really moving in the same direction. There's a lot of discussion about how there's great things happening, and we know that that good work is happening across our county, but oftentimes it's in silos. And so the thought behind this movement was, again, to really bring those different sectors together. So we established a goal-setting council to oversee the process, as well as 3 expert panels in health, education, and financial stability at the beginning of this process. We invited people from all of the different sectors from across Kennebec County. And I think when all was said and done, we had over 80 leaders representing over 60 organizations, again, from across those different sectors as part of these expert panels in the Goal Setting Council. And while that was happening, we are working with an outside consultant to kind of gather information and do somewhat of a community needs assessment. So there was a lot of research, community conversations, countywide surveys that went out to the community, both through some of our partner nonprofit programs, as well as social media and kind of marketing efforts to develop in the end what we have 3 white papers in health, education, and financial stability to kind of identify what those needs are in the community and really hear from the residents of Kennebec County about what they saw the needs were. And so the council and 3 expert panels were charged with sifting through all of this information and developing a vision framework, which again identified 3 vision statements in health, education, and financial stability, as well as desired outcomes. They identified different measurements that we're going to use over the course of the next 10 years to gauge progress. And then also started to identify some strategies of, so now that we know what the issues are, we know the vision, kind of where we're going, what are some things that we can put in place to help achieve those different goals. And so they put all of that together to develop a vision framework. And in the packet that you have in front of you, and I'm sorry, I don't have one for everyone here. You can see kind of an overarching snapshot of what that vision framework looks like on the second page. So the vision for health is really focused on getting individuals to engage in healthy behaviors and leveraging some of those prevention and wellness services that are already in the community. The expert panel chose the measurement to kind of gauge progress over the course of the next 10 years as the years of potential life loss before age 75. So, you know, if you're accessing the services that you need in the community, we're working to remove some of those barriers to access, as well as encouraging and giving people strategies to change their behavior, that hopefully we will see the results of that in the years of potential life loss. The vision for education, the overarching vision is really focused on children having access to quality early learning experiences prior to kindergarten, knowing that you can really make the most amount of progress in the shortest amount of time when you're really focusing on those younger children. But all of the desired outcomes and strategies and measurements within that vision are really meant for all children and youth, birth through 18. So it's not limited to that younger group, but there is certainly a focus there. But some of the outcomes under that one are related to literacy and language, school readiness, social and emotional development, and basic health and safety needs. And then finally, the vision for financial stability is about people getting the income, employment, resources, whatever they need to become financially stable in our communities. And the measurement that the expert panel chose to focus on for this one was related to the number of households that are cost burdened, so paying 30% or more of their income on housing. Any questions so far? Just now that you kind of have the background and what the goals are, I'm going to talk a little bit about how organizations are getting involved. Next. Yes.
Yeah, healthy behaviors. What's your vision for, what is your idea of healthy behaviors?
So that one includes a variety of different strategies underneath that. I will say that the measurements, the countywide measurements that we're using to gauge progress are related to physical activity, healthy diets, and non-smoking. But we know there's lots of other behaviors that promote health and wellness, whether that be drinking more water throughout the day or better sleep patterns or time outdoors. So there's a variety of different strategies that organizations are implementing underneath that, but it includes some of those things.
And getting away maybe from like video games and
Yes, absolutely.
stuff like that.
Yep.
So,
And that's certainly a focus of some of the organizations that we've met with, kind of a high, you know, depending on what the organization is and the type of service they provide, that's certainly a focus.
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
about the health vision as well. I'm wondering about the mental health component of that.
yes. So within the, under the desired outcome related to having access and knowledge of services, there's quite a few strategies. Well, a lot of the strategies are focused on access and knowledge about mental health services that are available in the community, including substance use services, getting Narcan out in the community. Again, a variety of different strategies underneath that. And it's not just our mental health organizations in the community who are implementing those strategies. We're seeing not only school systems, but businesses really try to start having a focus in this area where they might not have had such a focus earlier on.
Thanks.
So I'll give a second for questions too at the end, but so once everyone hears all this background information, a lot of the times I get the question, so what do I do? How do I get involved? How does my organization get involved? What does this mean for us? So there's really 3 steps to joining the process. The first is to endorse Impact 2032. You'll see in your packet that there is a statement of endorsement and there is an online version as well at our website, impact2032.org. But that essentially just says that this sounds like a good idea. If you're signing the statement of endorsement, you're saying, this sounds like a good idea for my community. I'm on board. I'd like to be supportive and get involved somehow. Maybe I'm not quite sure what that looks like yet, but overall, I'm generally supportive. And then the second step is to advance the project. And what that looks like is scheduling a meeting with me where we sit down and go through the more detailed vision framework to look at all the different ways that your organization is aligning with the project already. Because as we said, we know that there's a lot of good work happening in the community. I feel like even just with the 2 brief reports I heard from the students earlier, it sounds like a lot of these areas are certainly a focus for this school system. So it's really about identifying those ways that you're already aligned with Impact 2032, partly so we can share that good work with others, both to highlight it to business partners who might want to get involved or sponsor, or just kind of share those ideas with others who are in the same field doing the same kind of work. But through that process, also trying to identify some new things that you could implement that would help further the progress of the visions and really try to help establish some connections for collaborations in the community, again, for people who are interested in the same things. And then the third step is to evaluate. So it's really just sharing data that you might already be collecting anyways about how you're addressing these different areas, just to help tell the story a little bit better. Right now, we're using 30 plus countywide statistics that are already collected, but they're certainly at a very high level. And I don't think, again, tell that story or paint the picture of what's really happening at a school system level or municipality level and those kinds of things. So I'm hoping that you will consider, the Marana County School System will consider endorsing Impact 2032 and seeing the different ways you can get involved. We have 9 different school systems who have gotten involved so far that have endorsed, and 2 of which we've had advancement meetings so far. As I'm sure all of you know, it's very hard to get meetings with people in the school systems and different times a year. And, you know, the fall time, everyone's certainly busy, but it's been really exciting to see what's already happening in the school systems and to be able to partner in different ways. So any other questions?
Any questions?
What's a typical endorsement cost?
So that is a great question.
What are people
So
putting out there?
there is no funding that's tied to this. It's really about getting people to be working together. So kind of on the flip side, we've, as not necessarily as part of this process, but the United Way of Kennebec Valley now opens like funding opportunities to school systems. So as we've you know, started the journey of this program and really trying to bring nonprofits, school systems, municipalities to the table, we realized that we'd like to include them in our funding process as well. So historically, it's really been focused on nonprofits. But last year we awarded our first grant funding to a school system in the Gardner area to help support a mental health program that they're implementing there.
Awesome.
So yes, there's no funding that we're expecting as part of this. It's really just about getting everyone to be working together. But that's a great question, because you hear United Way, and unfortunately, sometimes you think that's what we're asking for. So
Thank you for your presentation.
thank you for having me.
Without objection, and we take an item out of order, move to 8B on the agenda, which is consideration of joining Impact 2032.
That's a good idea.
Since we have Ms. Bouchard here with us, any objection? All right, we'll move to that item. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I move we consider the consideration of joining Impact 2032. Is it 2032 or?
2032.
Yes.
Second.
All right, we got a motion, we have a motion and a second, we'll move to discussion.
I don't see any downside to it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah, it's a great goal.
Community resources.
I agree, when you can have organizations with the same type of goals in mind working together, I think it's a great thing, and sharing of resources is always great, because we all know resources are limited, and if we're not gonna be duplicating, it's no ideas that, taking, if someone else has a great idea, they share it, you folks share it, I think that's wonderful. Jay, you want to add anything?
No, I think it's a win-win for us as well, so.
Engaged in healthy behavior is actually sold it for me, so.
Thank you, Jay, for bringing it.
We'll see in more discussion or questions, we'll move to a vote.
Okay, Wendy, you're first.
Yes.
Kristen,
Yeah.
David G,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kelty.
Yeah.
David,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and Wyatt.
Yes.
So it passes unanimously.
Thank you, and we look forward to working with you.
I'll reach out to you tomorrow if that's okay, Caitlin, okay? Sound good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They will.
Now we'll move back to our regular agenda, back to the order. Citizens' comments. Is there anyone online? Seeing no, and no one on the clipboard, all right, well. We will go to item number 6, additions, adjustments to the agenda by the board or superintendent.
I do have one for everyone. I would like to make it 8H. And it would be the appointment of first probationary contract teacher for the math interventionist position at the high school, Tanja Gray.
All right, anything else? Anyone on the board? All right, this really isn't an agenda item, but just, I did attend the chairs training put on by Maine School Board Association, Maine School Board Management. I didn't get to go to the other days, but the chair training was very interesting. Heard from a lot of other chairs. First, I just want to thank all of you and thank the administration for being great to work with, because I'm not just saying this. You can ask Rebecca, there were some horror stories on how boards and work together and with their administration. And I think we're really lucky and fortunate to have the team we have. So I want to say that first. One of the other things I picked up on was if you're going to abstain from an item, you really need to say why. They really push that. The legal, their folks really push that. So that is something I will ask if you abstain, and if it's simple as I wasn't here or something, but you should be voting on every item. And if it's I need more information, then we can take time to get more information. But it's your obligation as a board member to be voting on every item. And just because you don't want to vote, that's not an excuse. So there is something I will be asking. They really push that. Really, the other thing they talked about was adding stuff to the agenda. You should really try to reach out to the superintendent and board chair before, because surprises are, it happens from the superintendent, things like this, but that was the other thing they really talked about. So those are the takeaways I had from that. I don't know if anyone wants to talk about the other parts of it real quick. Is there anything you thought that was good to share?
Yeah, Sean, I had the opportunity to go. I'm thankful that the district was able to send some of us. Even though there was a number of attendees that did not attend due to what happened in our community. There was still quite a few there. I think it only richened some of the conversations that we had. And some of the sharing and some of the togetherness, I think, that was felt over those 2 days. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of sessions for the same reason. So, but there was so much good to get out of those 2 days. I learned a ton. I think some of my other peers and members did too. There's a lot there that I wish we could still somehow package and share with our community, with parents, with more administration to definitely even generate additional thought or more creative ideas and also just not feel alone. One of the more interesting ones I attended to in the end, it just happened to be on the last day, was South Portland sharing the building of their new middle school and what they went through during that, because that also included some COVID time. So it was really interesting to sort of have them walk through their timeline and walk through their different ways of engagement and decision making and sharing and things they wish they actually would have done different, you know, and things they ran into and how they problem solved. So, but it was a lot of good 2 days.
It's great, yeah. And hopefully next year I can go to all of it, but the board training chair part was great. And I would encourage, if you haven't gone, to go, because I heard a lot of great things. And then the other thing I had was I just wanted to thank, yep. Someone had their hand up. Whoops. Rebecca. Go ahead.
It's okay. I can echo what Sean said about the board chair workshop. That was really interesting, and we do have it really good. So we are really fortunate. We have a lot of good people that we work with, and Leslie hit the nail on the head with the other conference. There was the main speaker was really, really good. He talked about AI and how that was coming down the pipeline, how we could use it to our advantage. And there was also, I'm sorry, I'm in New York for work, so I don't have my notes with me from the conference, but there was a policy that I picked up on that had changed. And I just wanted to make sure our policy committee looked at it to make sure that we were in compliance with the new law. But I don't remember what it is, but Jay, I will try and remember to forward that to you.
Good. And then the other thing I just wanted to add was during everything that was going on in our state last week, I just want to thank Jay, the administration, everybody with how it was handled. I heard a lot of great things, and as a parent, of how kids were welcomed back to school and how that was handled. I was on the phone with Jay a number of times throughout those days. I just want to thank everybody, and I know it's going to be ongoing. I was with some teachers today from our district and other districts, and it's going to be ongoing, but I just wanted to thank everybody and Deputy Nate for all that folks did during that time and are continuing to do. So thank you. All right, on that note, we will move to reports.
So just very quickly, in your original packet, Steve Bose was able to get his report in on time, so to speak, but a lot of the rest of us were not because of the way everything shook out. So in your folders, there are several reports there, and I know you're just getting them now, so it is totally okay if you want to read them very quickly, and everyone is here. They can answer questions if there's something that goes on there. So you'll see the elementary report, middle school report, high school report. Then you'll see my report as well, as with Karen's. Karen and I typically write it together. So a couple of the reports are there, and certainly expect if you have questions or anything you want to talk about, more than welcome to do that during this time, because we know we're just going to be at the last second here. We apologize.
Yeah, Leslie, go ahead.
I just have a question as we continue to welcome and shape Deputy Nate's involvement in our school district, will there be a point when he offers a report?
I thought of that, but that's a good suggestion. Yeah,
I think it'd be good for folks to start to understand maybe
good suggestion.
what he's working on, and it just wasn't a part of this, you know, boilerplate in the past.
And I know I've never talked to him about it, but I think that might be a good thing to do. So thank you for the suggestion.
This would allow everybody in the community to know.
Yes. Oops. Who's still looking or, oh, Brian, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask this question because I'm sure somebody else is wondering. In Michelle LaForge's report here at the bottom, Brazilian?
Yeah, thank you.
No, I'm sure it is. I'm just no clue what it is. But it's adjacent to knitting club, which is pretty cool. And I never would have guessed we had a knitting club, so.
You would
Darn
not
it all.
believe how many people are in knitting club.
I wouldn't-
It's wild. Also, you would not believe how great Frazzleham is. Frazzleham is some game that somebody made up sometime, and brought it to Marana Cook some time ago. And this wonderful man named Lee Barrett comes on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the lunch period and plays this outside game that's sort of a combination of soccer and basketball. It involves you should come sometime and see it, but there's they hold a trash can and there are rules. And they run around trying to catch the ball with the trash can. And it is just perfect. Like if somebody was gonna make up a game, you would hope it would be this game. It's really good. We've been doing it 14 years. And the reason I know that is we did have an injury last year. It was the first injury in 14 years. And Lee is great and he's an awesome role model and mentor. Like the more connections that kids can make and the more they get outside, the better. So Frazzleham, one of the first things I did as principal was learn how to spell it.
So why?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Look at the slides.
Is it good? I mean, is it?
it's really fun. It gets very competitive. You gotta pick your teams wisely.
Any other questions by folks that are looking through? You can always reach out. I know folks are always willing to answer. What else do we need? Know the girls soccer team and boys football team, or both boys football team is Saturday.
Yes.
And girls soccer is tomorrow night here at 6 o'clock. So I know folks are asking, because there's a lot of cool things.
Yes, the football team is playing Old Orchard Beach at Old Orchard Beach at 1. Show up.
And both of our girls and boys cross country team, the state meet was supposed to be this last Saturday and it got moved to this Saturday. So again, we still basically have 4 teams that are in competition. So pretty awesome.
Can I add that some elementary school kids were able to run in a recent cross-country meet and they were floored at how fun or how well they did or that they could do it and so on and so forth. So, and that's really a step up of, I believe, part of the mileage club that's out of the elementary schools. It was a link on that and pulling them up. So, well done to link that through and get some excitement to something else that also can make you really healthy. And conflicted as to what sport you'll choose when you have to choose.
And the play is still on schedule. I know my daughter wants me to get tickets, so I gotta do that. So there's a lot of great things happening.
And they sell out quick.
Yes.
And lastly, just on that sports thing, it's easy for me to grab onto it. But for our first year with a volleyball team.
Yeah.
And to have traveled really far and wide, they pulled down the sportsmanship award for our class. And I think that's amazing.
There's some good players. My brother-in-law is a college volleyball coach and he is looking to recruit 1 or 2 of the players. So he said that they were really good. I think there's nothing else. So those are just there's first reading. And as always, when it comes to the policies, if you have anything, you can get those to Jay. That's in your packet. And then that's it. Everything else is there for information. All right, we will move to action items. Approval of minutes.
Could I ask something on the subcommittees real quickly? Will curriculums on the 14th and facilities on the 11th, 7th, will those be on Zoom?
No, we're doing them, the recommendation we're getting now from SMA, sorry, I'm gonna get all tongue tied. Is that, subcommittee meetings should be in person if at all possible. Because what they're saying is if you're going to do them on Zoom, you should probably be recording them. And then that presents a whole nother level of technology challenges for us if we're gonna start recording. So,
Okay, thank you for clearing that up, because I definitely didn't see any invite for Zoom. All right, definitely be there then.
all right.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else before I move on? Sorry, in that section, number 7. All right, now we'll move on to action items. Approval of minutes of October 4th, 2023 board meeting.
I move we approve the minutes of October 4th, 2023 board meeting.
I second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll move to a vote.
Wendy,
Yes.
Kristen.
Yeah.
David G.
Yes.
And, oh, excuse me, she's not here. Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kelsey,
Abstain because I was absent.
David T.
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and Wyatt.
Staying because I was absent.
So does pass.
We already done B, so we will move on to C, acceptance of donation.
I move to accept the donation. Second.
All right, and then motion in a second, discussion. All right, seeing no discussion, we will move to a vote.
All right. Wendy, first again.
Yes.
Kristen,
Yeah.
David G.
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes, with special appreciation for the taxidermy.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kelty.
Yeah.
David T.
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and Wyatt.
Yes.
And it passes unanimously. So I'm gonna do this just very quickly. Mr. Dorman, where is that black bear going to be located so we can all see it when we're? Yeah. I didn't mean to put him on the spot here.
So we have the LTAD program is going to build a platform in the office. So as you can see, the glass will be inside the main office in the corner, up on a platform. And it's about a 4x4 platform that it'll be sitting on. So you'll see the entire bear sitting in the main office.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you. So cool.
That's good. Yeah, that's cool. All right, acceptance of bid for 4-wheel drive pickup truck.
I move to accept the bid from Barney GMC Chevrolet for a 2024 Chevrolet pickup as outlined above in the amount of $61,239 as recommended by the superintendent.
I second.
All right, and been moved in second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we will move to a vote.
All righty, Wendy,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yeah.
David G,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yeah.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kelty,
Yes.
David T,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and Wyatt.
Yes.
That was unanimous.
All right. Appointment of first probationary contract teacher, middle school, Karina Decker.
I move of the appointment of first probationary contract teacher, middle school, Karina Decker.
Okay.
All right, and then moved and seconded, any discussion? I have one question. Where does this put us at with teachers at the middle school?
Right now, and that's in my report when you get a
Okay.
chance to read it, but no,
Sorry.
no, it's all good. Corinna is going to Moose, thank you, I was gonna say it wrong. But we do have a plan for the other two positions and we should be bringing those to the board shortly, so. But we do have a plan in place, we just have to kind of finish it all up, put it all together.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, any more questions? Seeing none, we will move to a vote.
Wendy,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yeah.
David G,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yeah.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
David T,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and Wyatt,
Yes.
and again, you name.
Great. Policy second reading, KHC, distribution of non-school materials. So we
Yeah.
people are, so we need a motion.
Motion, we move policy second reading, KHC, distribution of non-school materials.
Second.
All right, and then motion in a second, we have discussion.
So this particular policy, just so that you guys know, was actually one that we didn't finish last year. So we went all summer between first read and second read. We didn't get any changes or any suggestions, so that's why we brought it forward this time. But just so you guys know, it's a little bit of one of those awkward ones. And it's just, it's caught in the middle of it. So that's why we're at a second read, and some of you may be going, did we have a first read? It was before back in June when we did it, so. Yeah.
Any questions? Leslie?
I do have just one around, it's on the first page where there's the second strike through that says the materials that interfere with the instructional process or the operation of schools will not be posted. Is that really vague?
Yeah, that's, it's kind of put in to be able to give us a little bit of discretion if we think it's gonna be disruptive to the schools and stuff. So it is vague, kind of like. Just so you know, in my time here, I don't think we've ever said no to anything. We said no to maybe two things. I should back up and say that. Probably two things because they really weren't directed to school or related to school and students, so.
But materials get approved one way or the other, so that would,
Right.
might be a reason that you don't approve.
Right.
Okay, all right, I think I just misread. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a good question.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote.
All righty, Wendy,
Yes.
Christine, oh, excuse me, Kristen.
Yeah.
I'm skipping ahead again. David G,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine.
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yeah.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Hilty.
Yeah.
David T,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
Wyatt.
Yes.
All right, consideration of overnight trip, April 2023 to 2024, Moose Island team, Chonky, Wisconsin.
I move to consider the overnight trip of April 23rd to 26th on 2024. The middle school Moose Island team, Chewonki, Wisconsin, Maine. This sounds amazing.
Second.
Yeah. I wanna go.
Been moved and seconded, discussion? Any questions? Right, seeing none, we'll move to a vote.
Wendy,
Yes.
Kristen.
Yeah.
David G,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
David T,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and Wyatt.
Yes.
Thank you, passes unanimously.
Alrighty, great. Fun. Appointment of first probationary contract teacher, Veronica Community High School math interventionist, Tanya Gray.
I move to accept the probationary contract for the math interventionist. Second name again, I'm sorry, I didn't have it written. Tanya. Thank
All
you.
right, have been moved and seconded. We, any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote.
Hey, Wendy,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
David G,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
David T,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and Wyatt.
Yes.
Again, passes unanimously. It's okay if I can give you guys, just when I met, Mrs. Gray, she's actually a teacher, taught 25 years in Vermont. And was teaching, high school, math interventionist position. And she moved just recently to the area. And she was like, oh, this fell into my lap. And then she said, as she started to visit, the area and explore other jobs, Miranda Cook really stood out for her and she really wanted to work here. So, again, I think it's just a nice little kind of celebration that she chose us because she had plenty of experience and she did it based on what we had to offer her here. She wanted to be here. So again, just so that you guys know the work that you're doing, it gets out there and, you know, good people are coming our way. So.
Nice. It's great to hear.
Yeah.
It's great to hear. Okay. All right, now we're gonna move on to number 9, executive session to consider negotiations between RSU 38 and the Miranda Cook Area School Staff Association pursuant to 1 MRSA 405B.
We move to executive session to consider negotiations between RSU 38 and the Miranda Cook Area School Staff Association pursuant to 1 MRSA chapter 405B. Second.
I do need to take a vote, so hang tight for
That's
just a second. Wendy,
Yes.
Kristen?
Yeah.
David G,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Christine,
Yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Patricia,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
David,
Yes.
Abigail,
Yes.
and Wyatt.
Yes.
So we are in executive session. Diane, wait for Diane's signal. Okay.
All right, make a motion, we adjourn. Move to adjourn.
So,
Done. Leslie, we